Well then, Merry Christmas Pig, listener. It's another Christmas pig. It's the many pigs of Christmas Pig. And today's guest is Mark Norman from the Folklore podcast. Welcome, Mark.
Happy Christmas Pig.
Happy Christmas Pig to you too. Are you familiar with the season?
I am indeed. I have listened to, I think, every episode of Loremen since number 1. So
Oh wow!
I am very familiar with
Series 1, Episode 1. Even the 107 episode third series,
even that one.
which I think ended on a cliffhanger somehow.
They just automatically appear in my feed, and my car plays them when I'm driving, and I just can't get them to go away.
It would be dangerous for you to not listen, it sounds like. Well, for any listeners who aren't aware of the Christmas Pig, it's Christmas, so we do folklore about pigs. That really is it.
There is an origin story, but they'll have to go back and find it.
Yeah, something to do with Jesus. I don't know.
It's all been lost in the mists of time.
Exactly. Well, Mark, have you got a particularly piggy tale for us?
I have a Christmas Pig tradition, although it doesn't happen at Christmas, to be fair, but it is quite piggy.
That's fine, as long as it's piggy.
It is piggy, and I suspect also possibly in the dim and distant past related to you.
Mm-hmm. Me?
Yeah.
Huh?
Or maybe your family.
Go on.
Okay. So the custom that I am going to tell you about today is the awarding of a flitch of bacon.
Wow. What is a flitch?
So a flitch of bacon is like a side or a steak that's cut from the side of an animal. So you can get it from like beef and fish as well, but particularly cured pork. The side of a piece of pork was known as the flitch.
Right.
So there was a tradition which was started, we don't know exactly when, but probably in the 13th century, from Little Dunmow in Essex.
Oh, yeah.
And this was known as the Dunmow flitch. We find them in other places as well. Mm-hmm. And this custom awards a flitch of bacon to any married couple who can swear that over the last year and a day they have not regretted being married to their other half. So they have to appear in front of a jury, and they have to swear that they have not regretted their marriage and that they have been good, fine married people.
Yeah.
And then they get awarded a flitch of bacon for this.
Oh, wow.
And we know that this was a thing because it's recorded in various places. Chaucer talks about it in his tales. It's in a couple of other places as well. It's believed that the original awarding of the flitch was started by Robert Fitzwalter in the 13th century as a condition of his awarding land to the local priory.
Right.
And there's a story that says that Fitzwalter and his wife, they dressed up as peasants and they went to the priory and they begged for the blessing of the prior. And in return, the prior at the priory awarded them originally with a flitch of bacon and a blessing. In return, Fitzwalter then kind of took off his disguise and went, "Whoa, lo and behold, it's me," and awarded land to the priory, but with the condition that this should carry on, that they should award a flitch of bacon to any couple who could swear that they had not regretted their marriage.
At any point over the last year, specifically, in a day?
Year and a day. The extra day is vital. It can't just be a year. You can't do a year and then regret it the next day, or you don't get your bacon.
I suppose that takes that sort of takes into account leap years, doesn't it?
Yes.
By doing that, so yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. That sounds fair.
You've got to be careful.
What is a priories are nuns, right? Or have I become confused? Or are they monks, or are they neither?
They would be monks.
So it seems to be rubbing it in the face of those poor monks in the priory, though. They have to give bacon to people that, because monks obviously can't get married.
No.
And presumably some of the monks will be kind of telling themselves, well, yeah, there's, you know, everyone regrets getting married. I regret being a monk. Got all the bacon I can eat.
Well, I mean, we've heard about monks on your podcast before, you know, and they never misbehave, do they?
But yeah, I mean, there's brother Jacundus.
Well, brother Jacundus is, yeah, I mean, he's the classic example, isn't he? He had more than a flitch of bacon in his time.
Yeah, I bet he's the sort of one that he'd go out of the priory and like dress himself up and get a mannequin and try and pretend that he was another loving couple in order to get extra bacon. Because who doesn't want extra bacon?
Absolutely. So we know that this happened over many years, from the 13th century, probably, possibly 14th, up until 1751. And the custom died out round about that time. That's
a lot of bacon.
It's a lot of bacon. But not all of the bacon, because the custom comes back in 1855. Now, it probably comes back because there's a novel published at that time by an author called William Harrison Ainsworth. And that novel is called The Flitch of Bacon. And in that novel, the story of the custom of the flitch of bacon is told as part of the plot. And because of this, the custom gets revived. And what's interesting about the revival of the custom is that we then have some records to say who was awarded a flitch and why.
Right.
So we know prior to that there had been, prior to its proper revival, there had been one or two kind of other attempts. There was a rumour 10 years earlier in 1841, on the anniversary of Queen Victoria's marriage to Prince Albert, that she was offered a flitch of bacon, but that seems to have not been taken up for some reason.
Oh no.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to be spurned, you don't want to be spurned over your pork, do you?
Yeah. You want to be guaranteed a bacon sandwich at least afterwards.
In 1851, there was a local farmer who was refused the flitch because he hadn't managed to evidence correctly that he didn't have any regrets.
Someone had probably overheard him muttering in a field.
It's possible. Farmers do that.
That's where they do most of their muttering.
Since this revival in 1855, there have been a lot of presentations. There have been a lot of flitches awarded. Prior to that, over the original many hundreds of years that this happened, records are very scant. But we have got records of 6 people who were awarded the flitch of bacon. One in 1445, one in 1467, one in 1510, 2 in 1701, obviously a good year for flitches.
Yes.
But most importantly, the last of the 6 that we know of, the 20th of June 1751, a couple from Wethersfield in Essex, I believe. Yes, Braintree area of Essex. They were awarded the flitch, and that was a weaver called Thomas Shakeshaft.
What?
Thomas Shakeshaft.
That's my last name.
It is. And his wife, Anne, presumably also Shakeshaft, unless she kept her own name, they were awarded the flitch of bacon.
What was the year?
It was the 20th of June, 1751.
That one, I know of one. Oh no, she wasn't. Yeah, no, I was related to one Anne, but she was not. She was on the other side. In Essex, it could have been the London Shakeshafts. Very easily, they'd be. I guess they'd be Donkey's great grandfather.
Yeah, and we know this happened because there is an engraving of Thomas and Anne Shakeshaft swearing their oath for the flitch.
Well done, Tommy and Anne.
Yeah.
I feel proud of that.
Yeah, that engraving is in the British Museum. You can go and look at it.
Is it?
It is. You can go and look at it. Alternatively, you can look at the Wikipedia site for the Flitch of Bacon, because it's on there as well.
Is it? I'm going to blooming do that now. It's just called Flitch of Bacon.
Yes, Flitch of Bacon. Well, Flitch of Bacon Custom, actually, it's called. And there are a couple of engravings on here. So there's an engraving of Thomas and Anne Shakeshaft being carried in procession through the town.
Oh. He looks like he's dressed as a jester.
He does.
Oh, that boy in the foreground is not happy.
No, well, it's probably his Flitch that they're giving away, I reckon. The woman next to him looks slightly shocked by something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what.
Yeah, I don't want to guess.
But a bit further down on the same page, you can see them swearing the oath.
Oh, yeah.
Kneeling on a couple of very uncomfortable-looking pyramids.
Yeah. Never made any nuptial transgress, offended each other, in deed or in word, since you were man and wife.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, it's a bit of a rhyme. Somewhat contentious strife. Otherwise, at bed or at beard, at bed or at board, offended each other in deed or in ward. Oh, it's a poem.
It is. Yeah, don't go there. It is a poem.
A gammon of bacon you shall receive, and bear hence with love and good leave. For this is the custom of Dunmow.
This is our custom at Dunmow, well known, though the sport be ours, the bacon's your own.
Oh, nice. That's very nice. So, but was it like only on a certain day you could do it? Or...
Yes, I think it would have been round about the same sort of time of the year. I think it was in June sort of time that most of the flitches were awarded. So it was an annual custom. Right.
So you had to not offend during a specific year and a day.
Yes. Yeah.
You can't have like a rolling, because otherwise you could have a rolling one where it'd be like you'd come back for the flitch the next day because it'd be like we haven't fallen out.
No. I think
in the last 24 hours, so it's still a year and a day.
Yeah, I think you've got to go June to June.
Nah. I think this is why I'd rule myself out, because I'd just be too annoying. And that would annoy my wife.
So it's hung around, this custom. It's still, you still find it being performed from time to time. There are other examples in literature and things like that. I think my favourite, though, was the fact that there was a game show.
What?
There was a game show which was inspired by the Flitch trials, where couples had to compete to prove how good their relationship was and win a prize. And that game show was called 7 Year Flitch.
Oh, that is first class. That is lovely punnage. Is that true? When was that on?
That was... I don't know when it was on. It's referred to in the 1990s, but I think the show might have been a little bit earlier than that.
In The Price is Right, but the moments are sticky. Yes. Whoa. That is brilliant. Thank you very much, Mark. And I mean, that's a good way for any, sickeningly loving couples who want to score themselves some sweet, sweet pork. They could celebrate, ring in Christmas Pig with some, free bacon.
Absolutely. And that is, I believe, the first Shakeshaft approved Christmas pig that we've had on the show.
Yeah, definitely. That's wonderful. Actual Shakeshaft involvement. Thank you very much, Mark.
My pleasure.
And, of course, happy Xmas Pig, happy Christmas Pig to you.
Thank you, and to you and yours.
To all those who celebrate.